Siege warfare in ancient Greece represents a pivotal aspect of military tactics during a time when city-states, or polis, dominated the landscape. These methods were designed to capture fortified urban centers, which were common due to the naturally defensive geography of the region. Siege warfare involved a combination of techniques aimed at starving, weakening, or breaching these fortifications, employing a mix of military strategy, engineering, and psychological warfare. The significance of siege warfare in ancient Greece cannot be overstated, as it played a critical role in territorial expansion and defense. The outcome of sieges often determined the fate of entire regions, shaping the political and cultural dynamics of the era. Understanding these tactics provides insight into the strategic thinking and technological advancements of Greek civilizations, highlighting their ingenuity and adaptability in warfare. Examples of prominent sieges illuminate the strategies employed. The siege of Plataea during the Peloponnesian War is a quintessential case where Spartan forces attempted to isolate and starve the city into submission, illustrating the classic tactics of surrounding and blockading. Another notable example is the siege of Syracuse, where Athenian forces attempted extensive engineering projects to breach the city's defenses, only to be outmaneuvered by the Syracusans. These instances underscore the complexity and often unpredictable nature of siege warfare. In support of siege warfare's significance, ancient historians like Thucydides provide detailed accounts of these events, offering insights into the strategic mindsets of the time. The emphasis placed on sieges by military leaders attests to their importance in achieving long-term military and political objectives. However, siege warfare was not without its controversies and challenges. The ethical implications of prolonged sieges, resulting in civilian suffering and famine, were contentious even in ancient times. Some contemporary thinkers condemned these tactics as dishonorable, preferring open-field battles. Additionally, advancements in fortifications often sparked a continuous arms race between offensive and defensive technologies. Connecting siege warfare to the broader topic of armies and tactics in ancient Greece, we see its influence on military innovations such as the development of siege engines and the evolution of Greek military leadership. These interactions prompted further advancements in tactics and strategy, ultimately contributing to the rich tapestry of ancient military history. Through the lens of siege warfare, we gain a deeper understanding of the interplay between conflict and technological advancement in the ancient world. The development and evolution of siege techniques in ancient Greece was a pivotal aspect of military strategy that transformed the dynamics of warfare. Siege warfare involves surrounding and attacking a fortified location, often a city, to force its surrender. As city-states such as Athens and Sparta sought dominance, mastering sieges became essential due to the prevalence of defensive walls. The importance of siege techniques in ancient Greek warfare cannot be overstated. They revolutionized the capability to capture strategic locations, thus altering the balance of power. Effective siege methods allowed armies to subdue walled cities without the heavy casualties incurred in direct assaults. Consequently, controlling a significant city could decisively shift regional dominance. Two notable examples vividly illustrate this evolution. First, the protracted siege of Athens during the Peloponnesian War, 431 to 404 BCE, saw Sparta blockade Athens, cutting off its resources until surrender was inevitable. Secondly, the siege of Tyre by Alexander the Great in 332 BCE exemplifies the ingenuity and perseverance involved as Alexander built a causeway to breach the island city's defenses, showcasing the sophistication of Greek siegecraft. Theorists and historians have expressed admiration for the innovative approaches seen in these sieges, highlighting the blend of engineering and strategy as a form of military art. These sieges demonstrate how Greek generals adapted under pressure, employing creativity and tactical acumen to overcome formidable defenses. However, siege techniques were not without controversies. Critics argue that prolonged sieges could lead to significant civilian suffering and destruction, raising moral questions about their use. Moreover, sieges often required substantial resources and time, potentially leaving the besieging army vulnerable to external threats. Some commanders opted for psychological warfare or deception over protracted sieges, emphasizing cunning over brute force. The evolution of siege tactics influenced other aspects of Greek military art, fostering advancements in engineering, logistics, and even diplomacy. The necessity to develop new siege technologies spurred innovation in military machinery, leading to inventions such as the catapult. Additionally, sieges forced city-states to rethink their defensive architectures, resulting in stronger fortifications and more strategic placement of cities. In summary, the evolution of siege techniques in ancient Greece was a catalyst for broader changes in military strategy and engineering, marking a critical development in how conflicts were approached and resolved. Through continuous adaptation, Greek armies laid foundational principles that echoed through subsequent eras of warfare. Key siege engines and their functionality form a pivotal aspect of understanding the art of siege in ancient Greece. These devices were crucial for conducting successful sieges, a form of warfare aimed at capturing fortified positions or cities by overcoming their defenses. Siege engines were mechanical constructions designed to breach fortifications, inflict damage, and demoralize defenders, enabling besieging forces to gain entry or force a surrender. The importance of siege engines in ancient Greek warfare cannot be overstated. They represented a significant evolution in military strategy and engineering, transforming sieges from prolonged and uncertain campaigns into more methodical and decisive operations. The development and use of siege engines marked a shift toward technical and tactical innovation in warfare, influencing how ancient Greek armies approached fortified sites. Among the most notable examples are the battering ram and the siege tower. The battering ram was a robust wooden beam with a metal head, used to break through walls or gates. Often suspended by ropes and swung with force, it applied repeated impact against obstructions, allowing armies to penetrate defenses. The siege tower was a multi-story structure on wheels, enabling attackers to reach or surpass the height of walls. Soldiers could ascend the tower under protection and descend onto enemy battlements, facilitating direct assaults. These engines not only highlight innovative military engineering, but also reflect ancient Greek ingenuity in problem-solving amid warfare. Writers like Aeneas Tacticus and later historians praise these developments for their effectiveness, emphasizing the strategic edge they provided to Greek armies. Despite their advantages, siege engines presented challenges. Their construction required significant resources and time, and their deployment demanded careful planning and coordination. Defending forces developed countermeasures, such as fire attack and defensive fortifications, to neutralize their impact, resulting in an ongoing tactical arms race and making sieges a complex endeavor rather than a straightforward solution. The introduction and evolution of siege engines had broader implications for ancient Greek warfare. They underscored the interconnectedness of military strategy, technological progress, and resource allocation, influencing other aspects like troop organization and logistical support. As Greek city-states engaged in conflict, the need for effective siege tactics fostered innovations that resonated through classical warfare. By transforming how cities were attacked and defended, siege engines not only shaped the outcomes of individual campaigns, but also contributed to the broader narrative of warfare in the ancient world. The concept of famous sieges in ancient Greek history delves into critical military engagements where armies employed tactics to capture fortified cities, pivotal in the landscape of ancient Greek warfare. Sieges were strategically significant as they were direct confrontations where military prowess, strategy, and resources were tested against the defensive innovations of fortified city-states. These operations required a combination of engineering, tactical ingenuity, and sometimes sheer perseverance, making them emblematic of ancient military art. Understanding these sieges offers insight into how ancient Greeks waged war, revealing nuances of strategy that go beyond open battlefields. Sieges were not only battles of arms, but also psychological and logistical endurance. Two notable examples include the Siege of Troy and the Siege of Syracuse. The Siege of Troy, immortalized in Homer's Iliad, albeit mythological, underscores the importance Greeks placed on determination, deceit, the Trojan horse, and divine intervention in warfare. On the other hand, the Siege of Syracuse during the Peloponnesian War exemplifies Greek strategic ingenuity and misfortune. Athens's prolonged siege, marked by innovative assaults and catastrophic failure due to disease and strategic blunders, ultimately weakened their empire and shifted the power dynamics in favor of Sparta. These historical sieges highlight the complexity and intelligence involved in ancient warfare, offering a lens through which to examine broader cultural and political shifts. The fascination with these sieges persists, drawing interest from historians and military enthusiasts who view them as microcosms of ancient Greek societal values and tactical evolutions. However, examining these sieges raises controversies and debates. Some argue over the accuracy of source material, like the artistic liberties taken by Homer in the Iliad. Others question the morality and human cost associated with prolonged sieges, which often resulted in famine and destruction for civilian populations. Differing interpretations of the effectiveness of siege tactics also spark debate. Overall, the study of famous sieges interconnects with broader aspects of ancient Greek warfare, illustrating the evolution of military technology and strategy. It enriches our understanding of how these formative conflicts shaped the geopolitical landscape of their time and influenced the methodologies of warfare used by subsequent civilizations. This examination underscores the art of siege as a crucial component of military history, reflective of human ingenuity and resilience in the face of adversity.